Guns. Guns, yeah. We've all got them, right? Oh, wait, I forgot I'm a 21-year-old British man, not an American. Guns! In Borderlands, there's a few ways of dispatching your foes. You can use the slabs of meat that you call your hands, a piece of sheet metal that resembles a machete, or you can straight gun people to being no longer among the living, like Grandma Flexington.
It took several hours!
I can't say the word death till I'm 30 seconds in. I just said the word death, god damn it. But if you're like the majority of the population, you'll probably just use one of the many guns that you have at your disposal to wisp away bandits like there's no tomorrow.
Sir, I'm along.
Now, I've covered each individual manufacturer in the Borderlands franchise before, explaining what they do, how they work, and even the lore behind them. Link in the description for that, by the way. You don't have to watch that before this, but it kind of will help with understanding the base of what I'm going to talk about today, so if you didn't already know about them, go watch that. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the bloody video. This is every single gun in Borderlands 2 explained. Now, for this video, I'm only covering Borderlands 2. 1, because it's my favourite game. Of course, I'm going to be biased. 2, because it's my video and I can cover the games in whatever order I want. And 3, because each game deals with guns a tiny bit differently, so it's sort of like having 3 slightly autistic kids at lunch. I gotta separate them before they cause confusion. As you could probably see by the title, I'm also going to be splitting this video into multiple parts, with this one being part 1. Obviously. The reasoning behind this is quite simple. The format and the length. When covering everything up to uniques, everything is a lot more generalized as I'm talking about a certain group of weapons as opposed to each individual weapon one by one. Whilst editing this for the first time, I noticed that the format shift really messed with the pacing that I had and thought it'd be a lot better suited to split everything up, covering everything more grouped together in this video and everything else, basically everything with red text, in future videos. It also means that this one video won't be like 6 hours long, which, whilst trust me is tempting, seems a tad bit long. Whether that also means a part 3, I don't really know. I'm just winging it for now. The rarity of guns, or well, any piece of equipment in Borderlands 2, including shields, class mods, grenades, and relics, is as follows. Listen up, by the way, it's really simple. White, which is common, pretty basic. Green, which is uncommon, still pretty basic, don't give up yet. Now, though, it's going to get a bit more complicated, so hold on to your Drake-sized schlong. You've got blue, which is rare, but don't mix that up with blue, which is unique. But it's not the same as blue, which is rare, because the blue, which is unique, has red text underneath, which blue, which isn't unique but rare, is just blue. Pretty simple, really. Then you've got purple, which is epic, and a slightly more pinky purple, which is classed as E-Tech, but is also under the epic rarity, but with a more unique twist on purple weapons. But not like that unique blue unique, but unique like they're a bit different to purple unique. Yeah, this shit's easy. Then you've got orange, which is legendary. Pretty basic, to be honest, no weird stuff. Supposed rarest stuff in the game, unique abilities that define them, funky designs, and always have red text. Weirdly though, not as rare as some uniques. Then there's a light pink colour, which is Seraph. The name's a bit weird, but you know, it'll make sense once I get to them. Then there's a super bright light blue, which is Pearlescent. These are the rarest pieces in the game, and that's weird considering there's a rarity above them, that being Effervescent. This is a dynamic rainbow that pulses through the colours and was added a good 5-ish years after the rest of the rarities. Once again, I'll explain it when we get to them. There are also some hidden rarities in Borderlands 2. These are rarities that aren't real but are sort of sub-rarities. Now, the references I'm showing here aren't actually real. It's a mod just to show what these sub-rarities would actually look like in the game. There are Moxie weapons, which are literally just unique weapons with Moxie paint jobs on, obviously in this mod being portrayed as red. You've got Gemstone weapons, which are from the Assault on Dragon's Keep DLC, which are literally just normal weapons, but they've been painted in a different colour. Slightly different stats to their normal counterpart, but marginal. You've also got gearbox weapons, which are the yellow weapons with a little gearbox logo you get at the beginning of every single playthrough, and is the only time you ever get them in the entire game. Then finally, you've got the most mystical of all, which is the black weapons. Now, while not officially a sub-rarity in the game itself, like the devs didn't actually put it in, it became a big trend back when the game first came out to modify the hell out of weapons and then just make the text black. These are the least legit guns you can ever get in any video game. You can get softlock completely, where if you load into a game, save and quit, load back into the game, they just don't exist anymore. And I cannot get video footage of myself actually using it because I've tried and I just can't seem to get them in the game. They're extremely hard to get in and actually use. So yeah, really interesting. And if you remember them, you're an OG.
So yeah, some sub-rarities there. If you're playing the vanilla version of the game, you won't actually see these sub-rarities as a rarity. You'll just sort of notice that there's things about them that are a bit different to their usual rarities that they're with.
Now that's every single rarity explained. Very simple and definitely not over complex. So let's move on. To define a gun in Borderlands 2, you need to have a few basic things. 1, a brand or manufacturer of said weapon. 2, a type of weapon, so an assault rifle, pistol, shotgun, etc. A barrel for the weapon, a grip, a stock, a scope or a sight, maybe one accessory or sometimes 2, a body, an element if one is applicable, like Jacobs can't have them, Malawan always have them, etc. And finally, something called a prefix, which is basically the name that comes before the name of the actual gun. For example, if you have a Jacobs gun that fires 2 bullets at a time, it'll be called a twofer. Or if you have a Torg gun that has extra damage, it'll be called a hard. Each manufacturer has a unique version of a barrel, grip, stock, sight, and body for every type of weapon, with exceptions to manufacturers who don't make that type of weapon. For example, you ain't gonna get a Torg barrel for an SMG because the motherfuckers don't make SMGs, and you won't see a Bandit sniper stock either. You get the gist. Once again though, for specifics on guns every manufacturer themselves makes, go see my vid on it. The only parts that you will see on a weapon's barrel that aren't from any manufacturer themselves but a rarity of weapon is the E-Tech barrels. These are their own separate weapons, and any gun with these barrels are instantly classed as E-Tech guns, with the rarity to go with it. Other than that, pretty much any weapon up to epic rarity, you can have any combinations of parts and prefixes. You can get an epic Malawan SMG with a Malawan barrel, Malawan scope, grip, stock, etc. Where permanent parts start to become a thing on specific guns is when you look towards the rarer and more unique weapons in the game. Uniques, legendaries, Ceres, pearls, and effervescence all have at least one part on their gun which will remain the same no matter the circumstances. These are the parts that make the guns stand out and give them their identity. Take this gun on screen here for example. It's called the Sandhawk, and it's a unique blue SMG, which you can tell by this red text here. It doesn't matter how many times you get this gun, every single time it will have that barrel on it, which is a barrel made by Bandit. But that's weird, it's a Dahl gun with a fixated Bandit barrel on it, I hear you saying. Yeah, it's all a bit doo-dally, but all you need to know is that these types of guns will always have things that are the same about them, that being the barrel in most cases. The prefixes that I talked about briefly earlier are also applied with each one of the specific parts of guns that you can get, which is why you might watch someone like Jolt's Dude and be like, bro, why the fuck do you care if you've got a Dahl barrel or a T-Dual barrel? Play the fucking game. And honestly, same. But it's because he's trying to get specific attributes that are only given with specific parts of guns. This is what also gives said prefixes to the guns. Look at these accessories for pistols. The one on the top left there gives the gun a little bayonet. That provides an extra 50% melee damage, in turn making that gun a Bowie Jacobs. This would be called different things depending on the gun manufacturer. It would be called an Action if it was Hyperion with a bayonet, a Patriot if it was a Vladoff with a bayonet, and a Thrusting if it was a Torg with a bayonet, etc, etc. Lots of names, we get it, blah 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 blah. Parts that don't determine the name of the gun, however, are things like grips. This gives different bonuses like better accuracy but the worse damage if it's Dahl, better mag size but worse reload and accuracy if it's Bandit, and if you get the sacred matching grip, you gain bonus reload speed. Meaning if you have something like a Bandit SMG with a Bandit grip, you get bonus, same with Dahl, T-Dual, and so on. Okay, so fuck me, that is a lot of stuff and it can come across as quite complicated, and that is because it is. Like, what? What? There's so much stuff. There's so much detail and intricacy within the guns themselves, but honestly, really, just don't worry about it. Just play the damn game. If you really need to know absolutely everything about weapon parts and prefixes, I'll put the link to the post I used to help me along the way. Now though, we're going to move on to specific weapons, finally. Starting with the most common of the common weapons, and moving through every single rarity until we get to the effervescence. Let's go. Common. Common or white weapons are the start of any Vault Hunter's experience in Borderlands 2. Being the bottom of the barrel, these guns never have an accessory attached to them, are less likely to spawn with a scope, with exceptions to sniper rifles, and have a very drab colour palette with faded or non-existent paint jobs surrounding the weapons. The first gun you will ever use in Borderlands 2 is a common rarity weapon known as the Basic Repeater. It's a trusty companion that you grab and then immediately throw in the nearest bin because we've had access to the gearbox weapons for about 10 years now. Fun fact, by the way, that is legit the only gun in the whole game that stays exactly the same each and every time and will always spawn with the exact same parts. There are a lot of white rarity guns in Borderlands 2, by the way, and they can and will appear as higher rarities. They are mostly defined by their brighter and higher quality colours, better stats, better likelihood for accessories, and sex appeal. I mean, look at this gun, look at this gun. Tell me which one's better. Most guns in the game will be covered in this list, purely due to the fact that the most higher rarity guns are just better versions of pre-established white rarity weapons. There are certain weapons that will only spawn as green or higher and blue or higher, etc., but most will have started off as white. When we get into the more unique guns is where you will see the real distinguished naming schemes and identities. These are every single gun that will appear as the white rarity at the minimum or the maximum. Let's go. The Calipine Sniper Rifle, the Snyder Sniper Rifle, the Raquel Sniper Rifle, the Focus Thinking Shotgun, the FaceTime Shotgun, the Projectile Diversification Shotgun, the Panorama Rocket Launcher, the Submalevolent Grace SMG, the Projectile Rocket Launcher, the Aegis Pistol, the Punishment Rocket Launcher, the Prowler Rocket Launcher, the Venom SMG, the Vexation SMG, the Revenant SMG, the Provocateur SMG, the Projectile Convergence SMG, the Animosity Pistol, the Apparatus Pistol, the Impact Pistol, the Transaction Sniper Rifle, the Policy Sniper Rifle, the Competition Sniper Rifle, the Chinook Sniper Rifle, the Coach Shotgun, the Jericho Sniper Rifle, the Corinthian Sniper Rifle, the Diobe Sniper Rifle, the Long Grinder Shotgun, the Muckamuk Sniper Rifle, the Revolver Pistol, the Rifle Assault Rifle. It wasn't obvious that was an assault rifle, I don't know what to tell you. The Scarab Assault Rifle, the Scattergun Shotgun, the Widowmaker Pistol, the Brachny Sniper Rifle, the Droog Sniper Rifle, the Glory Rocket Launcher, the Hero Rocket Launcher, the Horror Show Sniper Rifle, the Pushka Sniper Rifle, the Renegade Assault Rifle, the RPG Rocket Launcher, if that wasn't obvious by the name, the TMP Pistol, the Troublemaker Pistol, the Vanquisher Rocket Launcher, the Area Effect Rocket Launcher, the Bombardier Rocket Launcher, the Carbine Assault Rifle, the Launcher Rocket Launcher. I wonder how they come up with these names, man. The Longer Ragni Killer Shotgun, the Maga Mummy Pistol, the Machine Gun Assault Rifle, the Pistol Pistol, the Scattergun Shotgun, the Smig SMG, the Stratschweper Shotgun, the Zuka Rocket Launcher, the Biggin Pistol, the Dispatch Rocket Launcher, the Double Barrel Shotgun, the Handgun Pistol, the Home Security Shotgun, the Sportsman Shotgun, the Spread Rocket Launcher, the Subcompact MG SMG, the Bang Stick Shotgun, the Blah Rocket Launcher, the Boom Rocket Launcher, the D Rocket Launcher, the Derp Rocket Launcher, the Hand Cannon Pistol, the Pounder Shotgun, the Root Assault Rifle, the Slapper Pistol, the Stalker Shotgun, the Carbine Assault Rifle, the Magnum Pistol, the Repeater Pistol, the Scout Sniper, the SMG, yes, there is an SMG called SMG, the Sniper Rifle, fucking same as the SMG, the Strike Sniper Rifle, the Sniper Rifle, are you kidding me? And finally, the Terror Sniper Rifle. That is a lot of guns, a lot of white rarity guns that will be green and will be blue and will be purple. Also, because there are so many guns and they have nothing unique about them, that's why I just covered all of them like that, because things like legendaries or uniques or even purple, anything pretty much that's unique about any gun can be covered, you know, telling you what it's going to do, what the uniqueness about it is. But these, they are literally the same as they are white, green, blue, purple. They just shoot bullets. Where you distinguish it is, as I said, with the more unique guns, E-Techs, legendaries, things like that. And that's why I'll actually cover each individual weapon as opposed to just going every single one in a row, just the name and a picture of them. You understand. Uncommon. Uncommon rarity, or green weapons, are very similar to white weapons, with the main distinction being that green weapons have better base stats, can spawn with an accessory, look a lot more loved, and will sometimes have a sight on them. Once again, apart from snipers. As soon as you get access to a green gun, tell your white ones it's over, like you've just broken up with them over text, and swiftly yeet them off the side of a cliff. Literally any gun from the list of common weapons I just covered can also spawn as uncommon weapons because Gearbox just loves reusing assets.
Wait, you can move it. Look, yeah, you can move it. Yeah. Kurt Cobain POV.
I'll use the repeater pistol you get at the beginning of the game as an example of how guns change with rarity. Unless you're blind, and in which case how the fuck did you even get here in the first place, the colour is a lot brighter and the gun now has an accessory on it, giving it the ability to shoot off 2 bullets per shot, making it a lot more distinguished from the basic repeater. Here are how the different manufacturers change when going from uncommon to common. Dahl going from a dusty camo to a much nicer digital green, Jacobs going from a worn metal and washed wood to a more darker and cleaner wood finish,
Maliwan now gaining a more prominent dark blue and orange colour scheme, now being a bit more dominant than the previous white, orange and blue colour scheme.
Torg going from a very dark, mucky grey to a very yellow and green with black checker boxes all around type style.
Hyperion go from a very well-worn looking creamy yellow and white colour scheme to a more finished off and bright yellow and white colour scheme.
Tedior now gains a slight blue tint and a creamy look on top, with Vladov going from a light grey to basically just what Jacobs have but with added communism. And finally, Bandit having one of the coolest upgrades of the 21st century with this World War II style teeth design and a much more full red colour over the top. Honestly, I think that Bandit's green rarity colour pattern is the best out of any rarity for Bandit, or fuck it, any gun skin in the game ever. Literally the definition of peaked in high school. There are, however, guns that do only spawn in green rarity or higher. Not as many as white or higher. No, nowhere near, mate, trust me. But there are some, and they are as follows. Just preparing my throat. The Bushwhack Shotgun, the Cannon Assault Rifle, the Gatling Gun Assault Rifle, the Iron Pistol, the Anarchist Pistol, the Fighter Pistol, the Rocketeer Assault Rifle, the Spinny Gun Assault Rifle, the Ass Beater Pistol, the Barfy SMG, the Bernie SMG, the Tat Pistol, the Rockets Assault Rifle, the Room Cleaner Shotgun, the Slaggy SMG, it's a British SMG, the Chaff SMG, the Green SMG, the Kindle SMG, hashtag Amazon, the Power Shot Pistol, the Quick Shot Pistol, the Spark SMG, the Triple Barrel Shotgun, guess how many barrels that has, the Hulk Shotgun, the Injector Pistol, the Rod Pistol, the Spitter Assault Rifle, the Torpedo Assault Rifle, the Beetle SMG, the Eel SMG, the Grenadier Assault Rifle, the Shocky SMG.
And who might you be, little chap?
They call me Shocky.
And why do they call you that?
The Long Arm Pistol, the Assassin Pistol, the Guerrilla Assault Rifle, the Head Shotter Pistol, the Accurate SMG, the Weisenheimer SMG, Backburner SMG, the Wellness SMG, the Storm SMG, the Synergy Pistol, the Umbrage Pistol, the Vision Pistol, the Rock Gun SMG, the Ace SMG, the Aim Shot Pistol, the Bazooka Rocket Launcher, the Special SMG, the Hole Puncher Pistol, the Lance Assault Rifle, the Anaconda Pistol, the Defender Assault Rifle, the Jackal SMG, the Minigun Assault Rifle, the Negotiator Pistol, the Falcon SMG, the Fox SMG, the Peacemaker Pistol, and the Scorpion SMG. I must say, that's still a metric fuck ton considering the list we've previously been through. My throat is now actually starting to hurt, and not in like the you just bought me dinner so I might as well type of way. Anyway,
there's a large similarity that I noticed between all of the guns that start off as white and then these guns here that start off as green, and it pertains to the introduction of different manufacturers now having the ability to utilize different barrels that they hadn't been able to utilize before. Things like the Torg barrel for assault rifles, the Bandit triple barrel for shotguns, and the Vladov spinny barrel for the assault rifles and the pistols, but also Hyperion barrels for some reason. A lot of pistols and SMGs here can only utilize the Hyperion barrel if they are classified as an uncommon weapon. It's weird why that combo in particular was the only one that made previous common weapons now uncommon, but hey ho, it's Hyperion.
朋友是一个坚韧不拔。
The last big one I saw was that Malawan SMG barrels were now available on non-Malawan SMGs, with this obviously giving the previously non-elemental weapons an element, courtesy of that. Makes sense then, they're all uncommon weapons, but more interestingly is how the new SMGs introduced with separate elements are all now their own separate weapons with their own name, and not just the same weapons with a different element. I don't know if that's cheating on behalf of the developers, but interesting. Also, the Dahl SMGs here, is that a Star Fox reference? Now we're going to move on to the rare rarity, which is the colour blue. Rare. Okay, now, remember guys, this is rare, like blue, not to be confused with uniques that can also be blue, but they can also be purple, because this isn't purple, this is blue. Okay, who the fuck decided it was a good idea to make uniques not their own colour? I might actually kill some. Rare rarity guns are better still than uncommon weapons, looking a hell of a lot cleaner and always worth looking at, even in the latter stages of True Vault Hunter mode. These are quote-unquote real weapons now, with any opportunity to grab a rare weapon early game to be grabbed faster than me reaching for an officer's service weapon.
Oh, fuck.
It's at the point you start gaining a frequent amount of rare weapons that it's really worth just completely ditching any white weapons you see. Treat them as that one person you know from uni, but you like can't be arsed speaking to him because he smells all the time and doesn't shut the fuck up. Got it? Sweet. The design jump from green to blue for a lot of manufacturers is clean as fuck, but for others, I can only describe it as a heap load of Bandit decided, yeah, fuck a sick teeth and blood red design, let's be a boring 25-year-old and go do our job every day and pay taxes. Nah. Jacobs look super clean, now going for a more orange acacia type wood with a very bright and shiny etched metal finish. Hyperion now blends a yellow and green together, which I think looks like absolute ass and only gets good at purple rarity or higher, but suck my nuts, I guess. Oh yeah, and also snipers and some SMGs just go stupidly hard for some reason, with more of a carbon fiber than an F1 car nowadays, mixed with a really nice dark red. Why Hyperion is the only brand with a second rare colour, I'll never know. Maybe something to do with the fact that they were designed before Jack took over Hyperion, because I know Tacitus did love black and red as a colour scheme. I could honestly marry Malawan's rare weapon designs, just look at it. A lovely pentagon-shaped design with bright orange and blue shining through, a lovely silver as a tertiary colour with small black parts on the gun. Legit, no little stupid LFX quips here, just a genuinely great glow up for Malawan. My second favourite design next to Bandit's uncommon weapon designs. Tedior is sort of meh, a definite glow up over uncommon, and now developing the carbon fibery lines that they're more known for. But the two horrible faded looking blues together is just a bit shit, mate. Also, fuck Tedior. Torg is kind of like Jacobs for me, a super clean and bright metallic finish, now with Torg having the more traditional white and black checker boxes with red accents. To me, this is the best Torg pattern. It makes them look weirdly professional and respectable. And finally, Vladov has become the most Russian brand on the fucking planet, with a sickle plastered somewhere on the gun and the feeling of my rations slowly being taken away and me being slipped into the local gulag for having property. There are barely any weapons that only spawn as minimum blue rarity and higher, so let's just get them out of the way, shall we? We've got the quad shotgun, the wheel gun pistol, the overkill shotgun, the shotgun supreme exclamation mark shotgun. There's been a lot of guns with exclamation marks, I don't know why I only just pronounced that one. The development shotgun, and the Ravager shotgun. Only 6 guns there, and with 5 of them being quad barrel shotguns. But that's for a good reason. Let me explain. Shotguns, specifically, have 4 types of barrels, more than any other type of gun in the game, with pistols having a max of 2 thanks to Vladov's spinny barrels, snipers having a max of 2 thanks to Vladov's spinny barrels, assault rifles having 3 because of Vladov spinny barrels, and rocket launchers having a maximum of 3 because of Vladov spinny. You get the idea. Shotguns are special, however. They have a single, or Hyperion barrel, double barrel, with Tedior having the shit one, nobody talks about, Jacobs having the Chad one, Bandit having the triple barrel, and Torg finally giving the quad barrel. Now, I couldn't
find an exact reason because I'm not a know-it-all about everything in this game. Yes, I know. Insert Drake embarrassing meme. But my assumption for the quad barrels only dropping at blue rarity or higher is maybe due to a few things. Once again though, I couldn't find an exact answer, so if you'll need to correct me, comments is down there. Or you could just @Jolts until he personally dunks on me. So, yeah. These could be because of, 1, how powerful quad shotguns are, especially against early game bosses, where they 4 times multiply because of the 4 pellets at a time. 2, the high ammo consumption. 4 ammo per shot is quite a lot at the beginning of the game, especially with shotguns not having a lot of ammo in stock. Or even number 3, not giving access to all the parts pretty much at once, allowing players to progress when they find better rarity guns. So, going from, white to having better things with green and then even better with blue, etc, etc. But that is just a theory. Okay, that's rares done. Let's just move out of the way. Let's go to purples so we can finally get to the more unique guns. Epic. Epic rarity or purple weapons are the pinnacle of the normal weapons, evolving yet again from the sleek rare weapons into more of a braggy older brother who likes to act like he's better than everyone. Purple weapons have the highest stats for any non-unique weapon and are extremely likely to have multiple accessories equipped, needing much more searching to find a perfect variant with all the parts and accessories you could want. Purple weapons are usually the only non-unique weapons you should even glance at when continuing into Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, with blues having slightly worse stats and their lack of accessories not making them as viable for the min-maxing game.
I'm back from the dead to continue to raise hell. Get out of my way.
So in other words, the blues are the protagonist in the 2000s American teen movie, and she's not fashionista enough to hang with the popular girls who have brains the size of a peanut and definitely would have done OnlyFans if it existed in 2002. Looking at designs again, some are quite hit or miss to be fair, with blues looking a lot better in some cases. I'd like to think that blue rarity is what most of the guns would normally look like in most circumstances, with purple just being a bit of a jazzy remix. Sounds a tiny bit gay, but we move. Bandit yet again let themselves down with a definite improvement over blue for sure, with a very metallic, almost lava-like red with orange and yellow accents. I'm not saying it's shit, far from it, but if they had left the uncommon more like a faded instead of full red and then taken away the teeth design and given that to purple, then it would get laid. Little things, Ladolf's a bit meh, basically running out of funds for paint because there's a war on, goddammit. So just having this shiny silver colour with a weird non-sickle design on the sides now. Torg is also kind of meh, which I'm disappointed by. For me to say meh to Torg, which, trust me, is close to sacrilege in my opinion, is a madness. Basically, make the gun more shiny and keep the checker boxes. Seems a bit lazy, which, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, kind of fits Torg well, not gonna lie. Okay, even though I have made it clear that I kind of meme hate on Tediore a lot, and if you haven't noticed that, wake up, the accident wasn't your fault, bro. I genuinely kind of adore the purple Tediore designs. Even though it's simple, the dark purple, or the silver, mixed with the black carbon fiber is super simple, yet works perfectly for what Tediore is. Super light weapons, with the carbon fiber showing you're now investing in a super expensive lightweight weapon, as opposed to the sticky plastic, which I swear melts when I leave out in the sun too long. Hyperion told an underpaid employee to cook as hard as he could, or he wouldn't see his family again, and boy did he listen. Though Hyperion are the baddies, you've got to keep your enemies close in it. Easily the best looking purple design in the whole game. Of course, in my opinion, Jake. Yeah, I saw you watch the last video. Got a lot of people commenting saying I scared the living piss out of them, by the way, and hopefully I did again. Nah, but for real, I do love all the Jakes out there. Comment if you're back again. Maliwan still looks very solid, having more black included in the design now and getting rid of the blue and replacing the prominent colour as a bright orange. Teal accents make the gun look a lot more premium, and honestly I can't complain. It looks like a definite improvement from blue and like a more expensive gun. But, only slightly. You can tell from these videos I am in love with Maliwan, so of course bias is going to show, but suck me. Lastly, we have Jacobs, which, honestly, it's definitely one of the purple gun designs of all time. Not to say it's bad, but I'm really just not a fan of it. Never have been. It's just sort of, eh. Okay, well that's purple done with, and now we are finally going to start talking about the more unique weapons of the game. Some of you have legit only come to learn about these weapons, and if you've watched all the video just to get here, then you're a G. And if you've just skipped straight to here, hi. So, you skipped the video, eh? Well, that's cool. You just missed out on a super sick joke like 12 minutes ago. What's that? You don't care? Oh. Gemstones. Ooh, didn't expect this one, did you? Or maybe you did. Anyway, there's a few of you out there that probably thought to yourself, thank God, I thought he was going to miss it. And another few of you are probably thinking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Yes. So, gemstone weapons are a sub-rarity of guns within Borderlands 2, or otherwise known as a modified rarity. They are modified in different looking versions of a few specific purple weapons from each manufacturer in the game. It is worth mentioning you can only obtain these weapons after you feed Butt Stallion in Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep,
or killing an Iron Golem after leveling him up to an Iron God in the same DLC.
So it's understandable that people wouldn't have played the DLC to know they're even a thing, or would have finished the DLC and the side quests, but never had one drop for them. Plus, even if you did get a drop, they are just purple rarity weapons at the end of the day, so some people might have not even thought twice about it. The Borderlands 2 Reborn mod gives them their own rarity, but la-di-da, let's not get caught up with that quite yet. Apart from looking fucking sick, there are a few things that differentiate them from normal purple weapons. PS, it's about to get a bit boring now. Unlike weapons of different rarities, gemstone weapons have no part, element, or accessory limitations other than the material. However, there is no available gemstone material for rocket launchers, thus excluding gemstone weapons from that type. Gemstone modifier applies only to weapons of purple rarity. The only exception are Hyperion E-Tech spikers and darts, which may be produced in gemstone variation due to a separate bug. There are 8 prefixes and corresponding material variations for gemstone weapons, one for each brand. Regardless of parts, accessories, or elemental type, any weapon using gemstone material will also use the brand-specific gemstone prefix. They are as follows. The Bandit's called the Quartz, the Dahl is called the Emerald, the Hyperion is called the Diamond, the Jacobs is called the Citron, the Malawan is called the Aquamarine, what a sick name, the Tedior is called the Cubic Zirconia, even sicker name, the Torg is called the Rock, because of course it is, and the Vladov is called the Garnet. Nice, good. What the fuck? Yes. They also have some buffs that aren't just funky names and shiny skins. The only certain one that is 100% right is that they have a bonus to critical hit damage. It is tiny though, ranging from 6.5% to 7.5%, depending on which type of weapon you're using and what type it is. It also stacks, so you can min-max to fuck if you really want to. Here's another fucky thing about these bad boys, by the way. They reflect bullets. Why? It's a goddamn fantasy game where Tina puts Mr. Torg in the stocks, Moxie still works a 9 to 5 for some fucking reason, and Claptrap of all people gives you the most OP gun in the game. Make it make sense. Just like those fat bastards on my £500 life, Butt Stallion can just keep chowing down the iridium, essentially meaning you can get an unlimited supply of gemstone weapons if you so please. However, the chance of a gemstone weapon appearing is low, near or possibly below 15%, making the practical supply of gemstone weapons limited. Also, if you've ever tried dropping like 500 guns in your game, you know it does not end well.
The game fucking crashed. Oh, it didn't even let me play the animation. It just ran out of memory. Oh my god.
Also, fun fact about these things, Hyperion pistols with dart or spiker barrels that automatically receive E-Tech rarity when spawned can get gemstone material and prefixes due to a bug. This same bug also makes it possible to obtain a non-elemental Hyperion dart or spiker with a gemstone skin.
Oh yeah, baby.
With the oddity that is the gemstone weapon covered, let's move on to one of, if not the most interesting rarity of weapons in the game, that being E-Tech weapons. Now, the name E-Tech might be a bit, whoa, fancy, funky. I kind of sounded like Rick and Morty there, what the fuck? But that's for a good reason. E-Tech, or Iridian Tech-based weapons, are Borderlands 2's replacement for the weapon manufacturer Iridian from the first game, with the Iridian manufacturer not returning and being replaced with this. Apart from being one of the fucking coolest looking guns I've ever seen in a video game, E-Tech is an experimental weapon type created by the Hyperion Corporation. They aren't completely Iridian, but merely concepts created by fucking around with this new Iridium stuff that keeps coming out of the vault. You can clearly see in the designs and the way that E-Tech weapons fire that they were created by Hyperion, having these little weird stabilizer fins on the sides of the weapons expanding outwards when fired. First encountered in the mission Medical Mystery Excommunicate, Dr. Zed stresses about seeing some confusing wounds coming from Three Horns and asks, do you know what can make a bullet hole that ain't a bullet? Cause I friggin' don't. This obviously turning out to be E-Tech. Oh! After killing Dr. Doc Mercy and farming him about 500 times for a certain pistol, Zed comes to the reasonable, logical, and stable conclusion that E-Tech's friggin' dope. That, and that are all of the different barrels that make up the type of weapons that are E-Tech. But I hear you ask, they have a very similar design to purple weapons and the colours seem to be the same, so what is it? Well, it's sort of like a sub-rarity, similar to Gemstones, but with the distinction of all E-Tech weapons functioning completely different to your run-of-the-mill weapon. Shut show! Think about it like this. You know Dead Rising, yeah? You know how my boy Frank could literally strap a fucking stick of dynamite to a bow and arrow or attach a chainsaw to a boat paddle? That's E-Tech. You'll also learn when picking up an E-Tech weapon for the first time that projectiles fired from them work slightly different to how normal bullets work in video games. Similar to something like the Needler from Halo, you can't just shoot where you see the enemy, as the projectiles move a lot slower than bullets. You have to do what's called leading your target, meaning you have to shoot where you think the target will be when your projectiles get there, as opposed to shooting wherever your enemies are at that exact point, which in video games terms is known as hit scan. Don't ask me why, I'm like that one guy Kanye kept shouting at in that one interview. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. They're also fucking ammo guzzling machines. E-Tech weapons will always consume at least 2 ammo per shot, and in the first playthrough they just rip through your supply. Having an E-Tech weapon is like getting married. You have this beautiful thing that you love so much, and it seems so good at first, but then it takes all of your shit and leaves you to the lions in the middle of a raid boss encounter. The barrel is the only component that makes a weapon in E-Tech. You can have a lovely, regular, normal purple weapon and BAM! E-Tech, baby. You like this Bandit SMG? Yeah? BAM! E-Tech, baby. You get the point. In 99.9% of cases, every E-Tech weapon that you will encounter will be elemental. Seriously, go out there right now and find an E-Tech gun. Chances are it will be elemental, with the exception of one type of gun, which I'll get to later. Yes, I'm making you wait. Shut up. There are 2 manufacturers that are also special to E-Tech, that being Jacobs and Torg. Jacobs very rarely, if not ever, uses an element and have single-shot weapons, meaning no special alien powers for them.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
Torg didn't have a single E-Tech weapon until Assault on Dragon's Keep, probably due to the fact that E-Tech weapons don't explode? What in all that is holy do you mean they don't explode? Introduced in Assault on Dragon's Keep, which makes a lot of sense, the Sword Splosion is the first E-Tech gun for Torg and is actually a fever dream of a weapon that's so unique it needs its own bloody segment. The second and final E-Tech Torg is a remixed version of the Sword Splosion called the Unicorn Splosion, because of course it is. It's an effervescent weapon which once again we will get to later. If you haven't already figured out, each E-Tech weapon have very different ways of working and spewing out ammo compared to every other gun in the game, so let's go through them already, starting with pistols. The 2 E-Tech pistol types are Spiker and Dart. These pistols shoot projectiles that are slow moving, stick to enemies, and explode after a delay. There's no immediate feedback regarding whether a shot is hit, since the damage number only pops up when the round explodes. These always consume at least 2 ammo per shot, but can consume up to 4 ammo per shot. Something to note is the fact that their high damage statistics are offset by the fact that neither type of weapon is able to hit crits.
What happened?
Also to note that these guns will ignore the shield carried by some nomads, making incendiary darts and spikers, as well as slag ones, more powerful than the others. Due to a bug, Hyperion darts and spikers are the only non-unique, non-mission E-Tech weapons which can spawn without an elemental capacitor. This same bug makes Hyperion darts and spikers more common than other brands. Covered that before with the Gemstones. The exact differences between spikers and darts are minimal, but distinguishable, providing a slight change required on how you play if using one or the other. Dart projectiles will ricochet off surfaces, but stick to enemies. Projectiles will also home in on targets, either when aimed at the crosshairs, or failing that if the projectile travels within a certain range of a live enemy. Remind you of that Halo weapon I talked about a few minutes ago? The spikers, on the other hand, will stick to enemies and surfaces. The fire rate is higher compared to those of darts, and projectiles are not homing. Manufacture differences for everyone for the most part are just bog standard, with Malawan being the only difference maker, giving the gun a very high damage boost, but now consuming an additional ammo per shot. E-Tech SMGs are called plasma casters. They have a special barrel with 3 muzzles and a flamethrower-like ignition underneath, and fire slow-moving energy balls. Projectile behavior is highly dependent on the manufacturer. Hyperion turns the gun into essentially a giant laser beam. Dahl does exactly what you think, same for Tediore. No. With Bandit giving the casts a limited range, but with an extremely unpredictable weapon spread, being terrible if anything's more than 2 foot away, but deleting enemies up close and being great against larger bosses. Bandit plasma casters also have the distinction of bouncing off surfaces. I didn't even notice this at first, but I was fucking around in the gun range and I noticed they were going pew 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 pew. So, yeah. These will always consume at least 2 ammo per shot, and they're a big culprit of ammo stealing. Oh yeah, these are definitely my favorite type of E-Tech weapon, by the way. I know you probably don't care, but my video, fuck you. E-Tech shotguns are called splat guns or splasher blasters. The trajectory of the projectiles are affected by gravity, limiting their effective range. Most E-Tech shotguns consume at least 2 ammo per shot. Bandit shotguns are of the splash variety, which fires 3 explosive balls of goo, but for the heavy cost of 4 ammo per shot. Hyperion have the splat guns. These fire only 1 goo ball, which bounces on surfaces, dealing damage after each bounce. It'll finally explode after a few bounces, or if it hits an enemy. Tediore also have the splat gun, with the projectile detonating on impact. After you yeet the weapon to reload it, 2 little E-Tech bombs will explode in a high vertical arc. Shotguns aren't really my favourite. Having the range of a weak cum shot, and they're basically useless against any boss that's more than 4 foot away from you.
So we don't have the capacity.
But you can find a great use for them on someone like Krieg, so do what you want. Vladoff and Dahl E-Tech assault rifles are called blasters, whereas the Bandit version is aptly named Blaster, in accordance with bandits being fucking idiots. The projectiles are like something straight out of Star Wars, being giant laser beams. They're very straightforward compared to the other E-Tech variations. They don't home in on enemies, they don't explode, and they aren't shaped like little goo balls. They do sound absolutely sick though. Once again, manufacturer differences apply, only slightly though. Dahl's weapons spread into 3 separate beams, alternating when on scope. Vladoff's fire insanely fast and bounce off surfaces. Bonus points if you're playing Gauge, by the way. And Bandits have massive magazines, making them easily the most ammo-swallowing ass guns in the entire game.
What the fuck is this?
Snipers are technically classed as railguns when they're E-Tech, being put into 3 types: the Railer, the Hybridfication, and the Moloko. The variations are only based on manufacturers they drop as, which when you look at SMGs, which are always called plasma casters, makes no sense. Okay, Gearbox. All E-Tech sniper rifles consume 2 ammo per shot. Shots fired carried a large innate damage bonus and act as beams and reflect off surfaces and pierce enemies. The increased ammo consumption combined with the reduced critical hit damage inherent to E-Tech weaponry, E-Tech snipers are outdamaged on critical hits by a large margin compared to their standard counterparts. The Railer sniper rifles belong to Dahl and Maliwan, with Dahl being your usual 3-round burst shit, and Maliwan also being very typical of giving you a high elemental effect chance.
Whoa, hey.
Hyperion's Hybridfication is very much similar to their usual bonus, increased accuracy over time, with snipers having a super slow rate of fire. If you ever go down holding one of these, just know that unless you are practically kissing the enemy's arse, you are not hitting them. Finally, the best of the bunch, the Vladoff Moloko. These have extremely high rate of fire, bounce off surfaces, and are full auto. The most fun you can have without pulling your pants down by a mile. Honestly, screw the other E-Tech snipers. If you get any other than these ones, I will find out where you live and come to you. The only downside to these is that they chew through ammo so insanely fast, in some cases only giving you 1 or even 2 magazines worth of ammo before you completely drain your sniper ammo out. Owning one of these things is definitely an expensive hobby, still. Finally, we move on to the last of the E-Techs, the OP, coolest looking rocket launchers in any video game, the rocket launchers. Who wrote this script? Oh, I did. Rocket launchers have the most variation in naming schemes, consisting of the plasma cannon, the PBFG, which sounds like it'd go amazing on a sandwich, the launcher, and the sacred Topnia. All rocket launchers, with the exception of the plasma cannon, deals maximum damage at a large affected area. Your typical rocket has now been replaced with a what the fuck is that? Fundamentally being a massive orb of death, E-Tech rocket launchers have some of the highest damages in the game of any weapon, and considering they aren't even unique weapons is kind of crazy. They also have the distinction of the largest variation between gun manufacturers of any other type of weapons in Borderlands 2. Are you ready, kids? Bandit, of course, has the plasma cannon. These bulky looking bastards hurl balls of energy that arc and drop more balls of energy as they travel, just like carpet bombs. The PBFG, or as you probably guessed, the pretty big fucking gun, other than being a Doom reference, which go watch my video on that by the way, causes enemies to take more damage after the initial shot has been fired. If the initial shot hits an enemy, it will spread via blue spheres to the surrounding enemies in a large area, making it one of the best launchers for multiple target situations. Malawan rocket launchers actually take the material from their rare counterpart as opposed to their epic counterpart like literally every single other E-Tech weapon. Now the case for Malawan is pretty simple really, they just used the epic material for the North Fleet and they didn't want to confuse people so they just thought fuck it, what else are we going to use? Oh, the rare skin's here so let's just use that instead. TDR has the pretty generic name of launcher. These fire one of the death orbs very slowly. Explosion causes enemies to be encapsulated by a blue sphere and give this effect off to other nearby enemies, which, if you're listening, will know is the same function as the PBFG. Much like Malawan, TDR also take their rare material for their E-Tech rocket launchers. I have not a Scooby why they do this. As I said, it makes sense for Malawan, North Fleet skin. TDR, I have no idea. If you have an idea of what the hell is going on, leave it in the comments. Saving the best till very last, we have the voluptuous, the sacred, the STD curing medicine that is the Topnir. Exclusive to Vladov, this beaming ball of death surrounds enemies in a large radius with damaging energy spheres. Dying enemies encapsulated in a blue sphere of energy will be vaporized into fucking ash, as they should. What makes this gun so hyped up and why I'm talking about it like this is the fact that it's an E-Tech that only consumes 1 ammo per shot and each third shot does not consume any ammunition. The fact that it has such high damage would have been enough, but these two perks makes it easily the best type of E-Tech weapon that isn't a unique or legendary. So, that was the E-Techs. That took way too much brain power and editing to get through, but we got there in the end. I love the intricacies and tiny little differences between all of the different types of E-Tech barrels and how all of the manufacturers get their say on how projectiles are fired and in what way. You'd never think at first glance or after picking one of them weapons up that the complexities would take as long to go through as it did, but yay me, I guess. And that's it for part 1. It's been so great to have you, and if you made it all the way to the end, you're a real one. Once again, I hope you understand the reasoning. I've done long form videos before, and trust me, this wasn't exactly short, and the next one will be even longer, but still. I loved talking about all of the weapons, and I wasn't kidding at the beginning when I said I'm covering everything. I mean, going forward, yeah, Loot Lemon can help me out, but do you know how hard it is to get every white weapon in the game? It's easy for legendaries. People want that shit. But white weapons? Mr. Level 30 white revolver? Yeah, you can't just go out and get a code for that. I'm working right now on part 2, and I should hopefully be able to get it out in the next few months. No promises though, you do know what I'm like. Plus, it is very long. But hey, make sure, if you aren't actually subscribed, to do so now, so you don't miss out on the next part. But, other than that, been LFX guys. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.